Hey guys, this is Vadim with MaxTech, and this is the brand new Galaxy Note 10 Plus. And today we're going to be comparing it to the Galaxy S10 Plus. We're going to compare all of the little differences, and we're going to see which one you should buy. And we're also going to take a look at if it's worth upgrading from the Galaxy S10 Plus to the Note 10 Plus. So let's go ahead and unbox this phone. So I got the phone right here in my hand, but before I peel off the sticker and take a look at the phone, I want to quickly mention that you do get a faster 25-watt charger, and it's actually USB-C right here instead of USB-A on the charger that comes with the S10 Plus, which is only 15 watts compared to 25 right here. So even though the battery is larger on the Note 10, it's 4300 instead of 4100, it's still going to be charging it quicker, so that's really nice. All right, let's get this sticker off. Just like that. Wow. Wow, it's surprisingly reflective. It's almost like a mirror, but like this finish is very interesting because it like reflects the light in all these different colors at the same time. And comparing it to this one, I don't know, to be honest, I kind of like the S10 Plus finish because like I feel like the Note 10 Plus with its like rainbow colors, it's a bit flashy. Maybe it's a little bit too flashy for me, at least in my opinion. And I'm also seeing that these little logos right here you're getting, like the Galaxy S10 Plus and all this little manufacturer information, it gets cut down significantly on the bottom of the Note 10 Plus. So it's definitely a much cleaner look compared to the S10 Plus. One of the differences I see instantly is obviously the much larger size. It's definitely wider, it's taller, you guys can see that right there. It's just like a brick, it's just so huge. And this phone is already a pretty big phone. And another difference is it's so much more boxy. Like these corners here definitely like stick out compared to the nice rounded corners of the S10 Plus. So I definitely prefer the S10 Plus in its rounded design compared to this more boxy look. And going to the bottom, it looks fairly similar. Everything's laid out pretty much the same, except you no longer get a headphone jack on the Note 10 Plus. Samsung was like marketing that for a while, but now it's gone. But there you go, if you really need a headphone jack, the S10 Plus is already gonna be a much better choice for you. One thing I really loved about the S10 Plus was this horizontal layout of the camera lenses. It's really nice, symmetrical, it all fits into one little unit, whereas before you would get that little fingerprint sensor on the back that would really just mess up the whole layout, and it looks really clean. And I really like this look, but on the Note 10 Plus, honestly, I love the vertical layout with these three sensors. It all just looks so nice. Looking at the sides, they both look pretty similar in thickness, and one thing that I'm instantly noticing is that the frame is super thin on the Note 10 Plus compared to the S10 Plus, maybe 3 times thinner, and it actually is offset towards the front of the phone, which is very interesting, so the back glass kind of wraps around and circles around more than on the S10 Plus. Now on the other side, we've got these buttons on the Note 10 Plus, and it's interesting because the frame actually goes up and wraps around the buttons, so it gets thicker around the buttons, and it goes back to a very thin frame. Along with that, the power button now doubles as the Bixby button, whereas on the S10 Plus you actually had a dedicated button for that, which a lot of people would accidentally press, and it would be really annoying, so I'm really glad they made that choice. Before I compare displays and speaker quality, I want to quickly mention that whichever phone you choose, you should definitely consider buying a warranty from our sponsor for this video, Upsy. Upsy works with nationwide certified repair shops and helps buyers in the United States save up to 70% on a warranty compared to retailers, and you can purchase it within 45 days after your smartphone purchase. Upsy makes it incredibly easy to make a claim by having real people available on the phone 24/7, 365 days a year, and they store your receipt and all the info you'll need right in your Upsy account. You can use a link in the video description with the code MAXTECH today for 10% off your first warranty purchase. I'm setting up the phone right now, and one thing I'm noticing is that the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner is actually higher up on the phone compared to the S10 Plus. So this was a little bit annoying on the S10 Plus because it wasn't really comfortable to reach your thumb down there. So I think this is a much more convenient location, so I'm glad that Samsung did this. Now getting to the displays, one thing I'm noticing on the Note 10 Plus is that the curve on both edges starts a lot later and closer to the side, so it seems like it's going to prevent accidental touches a lot better than the S10 Plus. Another thing I noticed on the Note 10 Plus is that the bezels are a lot thinner compared to the S10 Plus, specifically at the top and the bottom. And the reason for that is that the speaker grill is now incredibly thin right up against the frame compared to the S10 Plus, which has quite a bit bigger speaker grill right there at the top. And looking at these hole punches, the Note 10 is smaller because it only has a single camera compared to dual cameras on the S10 Plus, but it is right there in the center, so it's kind of distracting compared to the S10 that has it in the corner. So I personally prefer the look of the S10 kind of further away, especially if you have it in landscape mode. The center hole punch is definitely more distracting on the Note 10 Plus. So both of these phones actually have literally identical displays. The quality is the same, the colors are the same, the brightness is literally the same. You can see it right here. So there are no differences in display quality. So because the top speaker on the Note 10 Plus is so much thinner than the one on the S10 Plus, we're gonna go ahead and do a sound comparison on YouTube and test out the speakers. So we've got Dolby Atmos turned on auto mode on both of these phones. So let's go ahead and start with the Note 10 Plus. Sounds pretty good. Next one. Okay, interesting. Back to the Note 10 Plus. Right, so I'm definitely noticing much brighter highs on the S10 Plus compared to the Note 10 Plus. This seems a little bit kind of dull or faded out. It's definitely just as loud. They're both really loud volume-wise, but the S10 Plus does have a wider soundstage and much brighter highs. So that's, I guess, a downside with the Note 10 Plus, which I didn't really expect. Now let's talk about the cameras. We're getting the exact same triple lens setup as the S10 Plus. The lenses are literally identical, same megapixels, same everything, except there's a couple of changes with the sensors. The S10 Plus had a heartbeat sensor right here, which is gone on the Note 10 Plus, but it replaces it with a 3D scanner, which you can use to scan 3D objects, or you can actually use it with a brand new mode called Live Focus Video. We're gonna test that out right now. All right, so how's it work? Do you see blur behind me?
There's a lot of blur all around you
yeah,
and at the edges of your body.
Okay, cool. So how's the blur edging like? Can you see my ears, or are they blurred out as well?
They're pretty blurred out.
Okay, they're blurred out?
For sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and analyze this. I'll take this from you. So I just watched that clip and I noticed a couple of interesting things. The blur on the outside definitely looks really cool compared to a regular video. But one thing, like my ears were blurred out and around my body was blurred out. It was a little bit weird, it wasn't perfect, so it seems like you wouldn't use this all the time. And interestingly, you also get live focus video for the front-facing camera, but the weird thing is the S10 Plus actually has an extra camera lens right there on the front, but you don't get live focus video mode, so it's definitely seems like a software-only feature, which is lacking on the S10 Plus. And another difference is that the Note 10 Plus gets a special night mode on the selfie camera, which you do not get on the S10. So we're definitely gonna be testing that out, and we're gonna put that information into the full review of this phone. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that right now. Before I talk about the S Pen and give my final conclusions, I wanna first mention that both of these phones are packing the Snapdragon processors, which are literally identical. Like I'm here in Geekbench 4, I don't know if you guys can see this, but all of the CPU cores and all of the clock speeds are literally identical on both of these phones. The test is done and you can see that both phones got exactly the same score, so there's no difference at all in processor performance. Now interestingly, the Note 10 Plus does get 12 gigabytes of RAM compared to only 8 on the S10 Plus, but you can get 12 on this phone if you buy one of the higher end models. I think it's the 1 terabyte model, but the Note 10 Plus comes with 12 gigs of RAM on any model that you buy. And finally, let's check out the S Pen. All right, so first impressions, looks pretty nice. I like the color, and interestingly, it does feel a little bit too light and flimsy, like it's made out of all plastic. This is plastic, this is plastic. I think the only piece of metal here is this, and that's because it's touching the bottom of the phone. It's gotta be metal. Pretty sure it's metal, yeah. But it does feel a little bit flimsy. I don't really like how it feels. I wish it was a little bit heavier. You know, the S Pen does have a lot of new features which I'm sure are great, and I'm gonna be testing them out a lot more, but I feel like the gesture controls and all that kind of stuff, I feel like it's a bit gimmicky. I feel like business people might use it more for like signing documents and doing stuff like that, but for the regular person, I don't know if you really need this S Pen. So with all that out of the way, after testing and comparing these two, I honestly feel like the Note 10 Plus is still a little bit underwhelming, especially for the price tag of $1,100. Now with the S10 Plus, you can probably find this for around $650, $750 on Amazon. And when you think about that difference, it's actually a lot of cash to pay for the Note 10 Plus. And in reality, is it worth upgrading? I don't think it's worth upgrading at all. And even if you're buying a brand new phone, you don't have either of these, I think the S10 Plus is the better choice because you really don't get that much more with the Note 10 Plus. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this comparison. If you have any comments or concerns, definitely leave a comment down below. And if you're not already subscribed, click that button above and check out one of those two videos right there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.